The other big election that we are closely watching, Haryana, of course, a 90-member assembly there, a multi-cornered contest once again. The BJP, of course, hoping to make it on its own there. But remember, of course, the NLD, the Congress also of course, in the fray. The Congress, of course, again facing anti-incumbency of 10 years. So really, what can it really hope for in this election? Let's find out from my colleagues Siddharth Pandey and Aanchal Vora, who now join us from Haryana. Aanchal, let me come to you first. We believe you're going to be closely tracking today the man who could be the next Chief Minister of Haryana, Captain Abhimanyu. Of course, the BJP denying that he is really their chief ministerial candidate, but we know that he is seen widely as a front runner. His name has been doing the rounds, but really talking about the prospects of the BJP here. As we've been saying, they have been banking heavily on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's charisma.
That's right. They are trying to repeat their performance in the Lok Sabha polls here in the assembly elections as well. They are certainly relying on the Modi magic and hoping that's going to work again. Whether that happens or not, we'll know in a few hours from now. Neha, Captain Abhimanyu is currently in Hisar. Hisar has the Lok Sabha Hisar has 7 Vidhan Sabha constituencies. Captain Abhimanyu is fighting from Narnod. Now, Narnod had one of the highest polling percentage. It had about 82% of poll share, which means that 82% of the voters came out and voted. When I spoke to him on the voting day, he said that he would completely attribute that again to the Modi factor. But there is considerable worry in his camp whether he is going to be chief minister or not. He believes, his men believe that this is going to be a fight to the end. There are many other heavyweights, people who are also considered close to the Prime Minister, and that might those people might just take his CM's chair away, as much as he would like to present himself as the new generation, the next generation's politician, ready to take charge of Haryana. That is if the BJP wins. But where I am right now, Neha, is the Mahavir Stadium. This is where the counting of the votes is going to take place, and Hisar has a lot of interesting contenders. When you enter Hisar, O.P. Jindal Marg welcomes you. From Hisar Main, late Mr. O.P. Jindal's wife, Savitri Jindal, is fighting. She is a sitting MLA, Neha, of course, mother of Naveen Jindal. So there is immense goodwill here. The question is whether they would be able to politically cash in on that goodwill. There is also Bhajan Lal's, former Chief Minister Bhajan Lal's family, Kuldeep Bishnoi, who's fighting. There is his brother, Chand Mohammed, now back to being Chandra Mohan, who's fighting. His wife fighting as well. Kuldeep Bishnoi had an alliance with the BJP in the past. We don't know whether they will have an alliance again, but he's clearly sending out feelers, wanting to have that similar alliance. We'll keep bringing you all the latest from Hisar here and Haryana as well, of course, on what's happening. Neha?
Right. So certainly a very, very big contest and a lot riding on it for many, many parties and players. Thanks very much for that, Aanchal. Let's now go across to Siddharth Pandey, who joins us from Sirsa, Abhay Chautala's constituency. Now, Siddharth, Abhay Chautala drew a lot of flack recently when he said his father, NLD chief Om Prakash Chautala, is actually ready to run the government of Haryana from Tihar jail. Now, we don't know if legally he'll really be in a position to do that, but politically, how is the NLD placed in this multi-cornered contest? The BJP, of course, hoping that it will romp home and manage a majority of its own. We don't know really what the numbers are going to be like in the end. How do you see the NLD placed in all of this?
Well, I think as far as the numbers are concerned, we literally now have less than 2 hours to go before the results start trickling in, and they're going to start coming pretty fast once that process starts. But this is the stronghold as far as the INLD is concerned in Sirsa. Abhay Chautala, as you said, is contesting from the from Sirsa itself, from this Lok Sabha constituency. There are 9 seats here, and the INLD is strong in at least 6 of them. But the big question is, can it still go ahead and bank on its traditional vote bank? The INLD essentially has been trying to get sympathy. That's something that the BJP is saying is not going to work for the INLD. Its chief, Om Prakash Chautala, has been in jail since last year, and that's because he was convicted along with his elder son Ajay Chautala in a recruitment scam, and that immediately disqualified them from taking part in the election. So Abhay Chautala from the family is contesting. from this area. And the big question is, can they go ahead and bank on that sympathy wave? That's not going to work. So this literally is a fight for survival as far as the INLD is concerned. The other interesting candidate to note from this area is Gopal Kanda as well. He was a minister in the government, and of course, he had to step down because he's facing charges as well. So he's fighting from Sirsa itself. So these are going to be important seats to look out for. But for the INLD, it's literally now a fight for survival. And of course, the BJP is hoping, as Anchal was saying, to come ahead, romp through with a majority. But that remains to be seen. The INLD has been an old ally of the BJP. The Janhit Congress also had been an ally. But the big question is, will the BJP get the numbers by itself, or will it have to look towards its allies, its former allies, to try and get the additional seats to go ahead and form that government?
Right, and that really will be interesting to watch, Siddharth, won't it, given that the alliance between the BJP and the HGC actually ended on the eve of these elections. So can the BJP really manage a majority on its own? If not, well, it'll be wide open. Thanks very much, Anchal and Siddharth, for bringing us those updates. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you through the day for the very latest.